Thank you, Zamil.
I just had to do that. Zamil, I know. You better make sure you come back and you have great-looking skin. We will be looking
smoother, stuff like that, right?
All right, well, everyone, we're back again, and we hope you're still with us for just another few more minutes. And we have our guest in the studios. We are talking to you about world-class performance, and if you've not joined us earlier and you're just joining us, welcome. And if we wonder what world-class performance is, it's more the mindset we're talking about.
Yep,
we're talking about what the layman can do to improve our standards and make this country a world-class country.
In the form of mindset. All right, shall we welcome our guest?
Yes, we shall. Let's get on board Encik Ramli Abu Hassan, who's a Principal Consultant, Diversified Promotion and Service in Berhad. Hi, good morning, Encik Ramli. Thank you. Oh, are you okay? You missed that sound.
Sorry.
Good morning. It's okay, it's okay.
Good morning.
Are you all right?
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Your food good?
Yeah, is the food all right?
Okay.
Okay, bit of a trip there. And like we always say, it's a live show. You see everything that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's the first time.
First time, no. Well, Encik Ramli, let's start off by talking about world-class performance. In your opinion, for instance, what is world-class performance?
Well, what is important for us to understand, world-class is basically we are one of the best. Okay, one of the best, like what my professor, which I am promoting his work in Malaysia, it's about like in the Olympics. In the Olympics, you are the best if you are considered to be in the final.
That's right.
So that is where we will select the Olympic champion, and they are the best in the world.
That's right.
So world-class performance is all about companies or even organization performing to the best, which the customer find that their services are at par and always on top. So that is basically the so-called definition.
Okay.
But of course, there are many components of world-class, which we will maybe talk.
That's right.
So you're talking in a form of organization, right?
Yeah.
World-class performance. But how do you address the problem of most of the organization owners out there who are like comfortable with where they are? They have continuous business, they have customers returning and stuff like that. So they think that they're fine, Does it still apply for them? World-class performance.
Okay, very important in world-class performance. As you know, we read a lot in the magazine, in the news about companies, in example, in the Fortune 500 or top 100. These are companies that has shown the financial performance.
Correct.
But to the customers like you and me, we may not be knowing so much about how many billions they make. So to us, what is very important is in terms of the quality of the products and services of the company concerned. And number two is about value for money. You will love to buy branded goods because the
quality is better.
The brand.
Why do we go for quality? I think that's the whole point. If we are going for quality and something that's not locally produced, it's probably because we trust the quality there better than the one that we have here. Now, talking about that itself, but going down to the grassroots level, how then do we change the mindset of our people if we want to talk about a world-class performance, and not only in organizations, Jeremy? Let's take it a step back. Let's look at like we were talking earlier. Just your layman person. If you want to change the mindset of a person to improve the country and to improve the performances of the country to the people abroad, what can one do?
Okay, for the layman, to him, it all depends on which status of his life is. If a rich man, his desires are more.
Oh, let's not talk about the rich.
A normal man, the hard times like us nowadays. So the hard time of us like this, we always now like to buy something that is of value. So, but of course, the value means something that the company promises to the customer. Just to continue, just now I mentioned quality of products, value for money, the services that the company pledge, the reliability, and also innovation. So these are the 5 aspects that we customer looking seriously. So if the layman find that this is based on his requirement, then he's satisfied with it. In service, we call it the moment of truth. So like now you go to the pasar malam, if the makcik serve you so well, then you get inspired by such, you will want to come again.
That's right. You look for her, literally.
So to us, that is, we may not say world class, but that is satisfying to you at the pocket you have. But you have much more money, then of course you want maybe you
a
want to go
different
to
environment and
a five-star hotel for your food, you know. So
that's right.
So that's what it's all about, you know.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Now we shall not dispute the fact that we have world-class infrastructure in Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
So some look at this as just we're just keeping up with the Joneses and stuff like that. You know, they're building taller, higher. We build it too.
Yeah.
But what about the mindset of the people? You know, it's perhaps some say it's third class or
third world
class.
mindset.
Yeah,
we've got first world infrastructure. We can't deny that. I mean, I think Malaysia has really progressed so well that a lot of the world leaders are quite impressed with how we've moved on in our times.
Right.
But I think what both of us would agree is the fact that the mindset of the people, we're still sitting in the third world mindset. We're still not appreciating what we have out there. And as you may have noticed our polling question, again, we're hitting it back to the grassroots. What can we do to change that mindset? When we say keeping up the Joneses, do you think that this is all we're doing right now? Just keeping up with the Joneses. Build this bigger, build that stronger, build that longer. So it's always the biggest, the widest, the highest, the tallest, the the greatest.
I think we cannot run away from the fact that knowledge, or in Malay we call ilmu, is very critical here.
Yep.
You can have the best building, but without the knowledge, without the skill, then and of course the attitude, we will not be able to reach there. You know, so that's why we need to inculcate this modal insan, build up the people knowledge, let them keep on learning. So that they have the so-called the competitive edge. So this you can find in town. You go to you walk in town, you go to the public toilets. You know, it's sometimes it's horrible. You know,
Yes.
as they say, a world-class organization or whatever, the toilet is as good as a five-star hotel. So can we have a public toilet like as good as a five-star hotel? So in Japan, maybe people say that, you know, because they experience it, or maybe some other places. So it all depends on, of course, the organization. The leadership plays a very important role to lead the way. And the people, they are basically normal people. They will follow as what the leaders say. No?
That's right.
But of course, you need to educate them. So this is a process, but hopefully we move faster. You know, we move faster in that process.
So can you tell us more? What is the most common problem that's faced by Malaysians organizations as well as Malaysians itself? It's the most common problem.
When it comes to world-class performance, of course.
Okay, so that's why world-class companies that doesn't just pop up in a day. They have been around for 50 years, 100 years. The reason why they still maintain it because they do all the best things and keep on vigorously telling their employees that this is important, this is their norm, their practice. So example like greeting. When you go to a world-class company, you will find that you find so pleasant to be there. You have been greeted, you feel that I'm so important.
That's good.
So that is something you don't need that much money, you know. So maybe that should be a start, you know. So let's all greet each other, smile, whatever differences you have with the One Malaysia thing, you know. We want to create that university in diversity, you know, things like that.
It does make a difference, isn't it? I mean, you walk into a place in the morning and somebody says, "Hi, good morning." That kind of makes a difference, isn't it?
Even in a shopping supermarket, it seems. Nowadays they do it.
Yeah, they do. They play importance there. Let's talk about enforcement, Ramli. If we talk about enforcement, that I think one of our callers had highlighted that, saying that there's a lack in the enforcement as well to ensure that, you know, we are up to par in terms of our usage and everything. So in your case, what do you think that enforcement does play an important part here, or do you think that it's just that we need to change the mindset of the people and thus educate the people?
Well, enforcement is something which, to me, it's more about discipline. You know, a disciplined approach where we want to get things right. And in quality, we say do it right the first time, or else you create a lot of errors. So that's why we need to enforce it right. So right means the person must be the right person, doing the right way, and always, you know. So he cannot have the two ways of it. Tidak apa attitude is out. You know, so he has a job, so must do the job based on what has been informed. So if that is been done with discipline, I'm sure we can get things done.
That would mean invoke passion in him to make something better, isn't it, in his area of work?
Yeah,
even if it's a street sweeper, there has to be a passion in making sure I'm going to make this part of my street the cleanest.
Yes.
Because there is that need there.
Yeah, it's what we call pride in your work.
That's right. That's
whatever you are,
Yeah, that will certainly avoid the problems of them sweeping it down the drain. Anyway,
we have of course a caller online. Tom, you're back with us again.
Yes, let's see what you have for us this round. Tom.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, morning again.
Good to have you back, Ramli.
Thank you. Thank you.
And about this first-class mentality, now I'll tell you where we are at the moment. Bus drivers with 30 summons and 7 warrant of arrest.
Still driving.
That's where we are at the moment.
That's right.
You know, people are not afraid. You know, they continue doing what, even the law tells you you can't do that, they still do it. The problem here is enforcement, you know. And in order to have world-class mentality, we have to enforce the law in order to get people in line. Otherwise, they're everywhere. It's chaotic.
That's true.
You know? So, what is your thought, Ramli, about this? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom's very sober today.
Okay, I think everything starts off at the young age. If we discipline our kids very well in school with all the civicness, you know, all the mannerism, all the discipline, I think they will grow up to be a wonderful kid. But now, you know, in school, there's so many stories, you know, of bullies, of what. And of course, don't forget, I think I taught you the last time about the generation problem. Yeah? We have the Generation M, Generation X, Generation Y, baby boomers. So all of them have their own world, you know.
That's right, that's
right. So me as a father, you know, I also have to cope with such environment. So this is also about managing change, lah.
That's right.
So we have to seriously look at it. So that we can hopefully create that newness. Okay, maybe hopefully this one Malaysia will make that direction where people become more unity, they understand the needs of each other, and hopefully we go for world class. Not just talking about it, but making sure we are there.
Doing it.
Yes.
I think doing it is another problem because I don't think it's easy to just enforce that upon someone. And I think, Tom, what he said is rather pertinent. And if you see in the papers, we just read it, Stefan was just reading about people who receive summonses and who are not even bothered.
And they're still driving.
They're still doing it again and again. So the question is, what then do we do to stop these people? I know certain countries take major action on these kind of wrongdoers. Maybe do you think that our country should do something like that? Go really deep down in terms of the penalty and,
for example, penalize those who don't separate the garbage and stuff like that.
Of course, definitely. When I was in Japan, when we had dinner, my Japanese friend will come by train. They will not drive because you know, when you are in the party, you will consume some alcohol, and they are very frightened to be caught. Because once they are caught, their license will be revoked and they will not be able to drive. But not in Malaysia, you know, you still have that braveness. You know?
The bravado is still there. It's okay.
The laws are there, but
the enforcement is not strong enough. And I know people who still violate it as much as, you know, they don't. It just doesn't matter to them. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's just another summons. Who cares?
Just to add a bit, in my world class, we measure by what level we are, level 1 to 5.
Okay.
So that also is a good way approach to see. So maybe a level 1 we call ordinary performance.
Right.
A level 5 is world class. So if organization were to assess where they are, maybe from there they can address the gap. So maybe if you talk about summons, maybe at the moment now, we may not even be at level 1.
Oh no!
You know, we are not ordinary performance, you know, we are worse. So we have to move so many levels. So that takes a lot of years. But with disciplined approach, with good leadership, I'm sure we will be there. But we need that passion and that compassion, you know, to get it done.
Right. But in your experience, in Ramli, do you see companies that have reached maybe level 4 and 5 in our country?
Well, we have many Malaysian companies that are in Fortune 500, that in the top 100 Asian organization.
Right.
But like I say, like people like you and me, we don't care about their financial figures. You know?
That's right.
We want to know when we go to their organization, we will find that they are at level 5.
Right.
If not, we say you are just the same as the normal Sindian Berhad, you know. You know?
Even if you're the top 500.
But of course, world-class company knows what takes to be world-class.
That's right.
So they do the best and they maintain it. That maintenance is also very important.
That's
here.
crucial, isn't it? Doing that maintenance.
That is important, maintenance. You can have the world-class infrastructure, but you don't maintain it, you know, with all the ID card you touch in. But then when the next time you go, it's all been, what do you call it? Jam up. You know, you don't need all that. You just walk in, you know. So where is that maintenance structure?
So again, it's back to whether we're just keeping up to the Joneses or are we actually doing something about it. In your experience in Ramli, can you perhaps you would like to give us, give the viewers, for instance, whoever's watching us today, some advice on how to keep up in terms of the infrastructure as well as maintain a bit of dignity in our country to say we can hit that world-class performance, even the layman.
First, of course, if you work in a company, let's hope your company have some plan to tell you that this is where we are, this is where we want to go. So then everybody works to it, you know. As they say, you have a plan, work the plan, you know. So get it done. Then, of course, through many years, we call it a step-by-step approach, like to be world-class. You don't jump, you know. Then after that, for the normal people, it's all about making sure you are become a better person in whatever you do. If you have never greeted anybody, do it. If you have never been honest by somebody give you extra change, give it back. You know, things like that. So I think with that disciplined approach and continual improvement, as they say, we will move to that level.
And a passion to ensure that this is your country. You should be proud of your country.
Oh yes, of course.
Definitely. All right, well, we actually have the polling results coming to you soon, so you can have a look at what people have to say there, whether summonses are the way or maybe it's more education that's more the way.
Even notices.
Yeah, one last question, Ramli. What do you think the challenges are for any person to actually hit that mark? It could be a company, it could be a person. What's our challenges right now? What's stopping us?
Okay, that's why when I say world class is that one of the best in the world. So you must know who are the best in the world. So then where you are now. So we have to move up, you know, talking about football, you know, we are, you know, so far away. So we have to know, why Brazil is every time in the final. You know, the way, as I say, one of the best. So we have to do a lot of things.
Self-assessment.
You know, but of course, the individual plays the role, the leadership plays the role, and together, you know, so it needs a concerted effort.
All right.
I think we should be there.
All right. Right, now let's have a look. I believe we can have one more look and, well, as you all know, we're talking about world-class performances, and if you do have a question, 22872051, 22873051, phone lines are open.
The experts are still here with us. And of course, how crucial is the world-class performance to the one-man show? Like a
Sendirian Berhad, for instance.
Really sendirian kind of thingy.
Where you emphasize the sendirian.
No, we have many individuals, you know, who are Datuk Lan, you know, for example. You know, his drawing is all over the world.
That's right.
And he maintained that standard. And if you benchmark, he's like one of the best in the world. You know. So here he has to keep on, you know, as I mentioned, the innovation, service, so that people knows he is up at par and always on the move, you know, always exciting us. So to the individual, he has to do that also. Where you are, keep on improving. Know that there is unleash your talents.
That's right.
You know, unleash your talents. So I think with that, like, even the gardener, he should know what is the other gardeners in the world are doing. So maybe create some kind of something different,
right.
The wow factor. Wow, what's that? You know, something like that. You know, so if that can be done at a continual pace, I think the country will achieve that level. You know, so we must compare. The benchmarking is important here to know where we are.
Fantastic. Now, of course, we were looking at world-class performances, and you have mentioned that we have Fortune 500 companies and companies who have achieved, but there is still a lack of this in the general work area. There's a general lack in it in the general work area. So for people like that, what would your personal advice be? What can they do? Again, we're going back to leaders, for instance. Leaders in the general work area, what can they do to improve themselves and, of course, get the staff to follow suit?
There is a saying in management, not every time we need money to do things.
Yeah.
We first use our head first.
That's right.
You know, whatever we can do. So like smiling, greeting,
just
that doesn't need money.
Yeah.
So that must be done very rigorously. So sometimes some general managers or what do make a check to see whether such things are happening. You know, if not, they have to call, tell them, you know, things like that. So there is this leadership has to play that continual mentor or coach or whatever, so that people understand that this is what the company really wants. This is the behavior we want. So if that is not enforced, like you, if you have kids, if you don't enforce the behavior, then he also will think, Papa, don't care lah. You know?
All right.
That's right, Malaysia. We've been talking to the expert himself.
That's right.
And he helps companies achieve world-class performance.
That's right. All right, now before we end, of course, with Akim coming back with us, we would like to have a look at the polling results coming to us.
That's right. Whoa, how can we improve our standards of world-class performance? And no one says put up more notices.
No, I guess notices are enough. More awareness and education, issuing summonses. It's a 50-50 tie. Wow, are you serious, Malaysia? Do you think summonses are going to work?
It's much better than not issuing at all. Well.
All right. Well, Encik Ramli, thank you so much. We thank you very much for your time and
Thank
your
you,
valued insight into the topic as well. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For you out there, we thank you so much for all the calls that you've given us, and we love the support you've given us. We hope you're still going to be with us tomorrow again with the rest of the gang.
But for now, enjoy your holidays, and of course,